Morning, everyone. Um, I'm doing this video because it seems like the Will Smith topic is like all over the internet, and it doesn't give me any good feelings, and here's why. One, and I hate to have to be the bearer of bad news, but it appears we have to remember Will Smith is a human just like us. And if we understand that when we're in a relationship, um, you got to give your time to detach from that energy. You have to give your time to heal and relearn self. And what we know from his story, he went from one relationship to another. Both females admitting that they don't really care about him, which leads me to say that unfortunately, he may be with his narcissist, right? And um, we all know how that is, right? But obviously, Will is operating from a frequency of need and love, which is allowing him to be, as I mentioned before in my other lectures, that paddle syndrome, right? Because we are a loyal people and we love hard. So we tend to stay with people who do us hurt all the time. So it's like that paddleball syndrome. It's like you keep getting hurt, you keep getting hurt, you keep getting hurt, but you don't know what else to do but to continue to be with that person. Unfortunately, that's unhealthy. And it just really makes sense why he lost his cool. However, am I condoling violence? I'm not. Being a part of domestic violence in my past, I don't condone violence and I don't condone hitting. However, when are we as a people going to understand that unfortunately other cultures stand on cultural actions? And in our culture, you just can't talk about a person that we love and everything is cool. So I would love to see that our people stand together and say, hey, even though this does not appear right to everyone else, but in our culture, that's how it just happens. So what that would have done was, and I'm surprised because I believe the producer is also from is an African American, then he should have knew that if you program somebody to say a certain things, you run that risk of that kind of movement because we are an emotional people. So I will have to say we collectively need to stand behind the culture of what happened. Because many of you know that your fathers would not have played no games if that was you. Many of you know that your husbands would have done that if that was you. Also, if your husband or your father did not have done that, then you would have been looking at him like, why you didn't even look at, why didn't you protect me? Why didn't you say something? Why you didn't do? So being in this real place, we really are not tripping. Hence why Chris Rock did not press charges, because he is from the culture, right? How can everyone be tripping off of what happened, but yet you let WorldStar become one of the biggest platforms off of that same behavior? How can we be tripping when this is the same platform, Oscars, that wasn't allowing African Americans to win naturally? So, I'm a little bit confused because at the end of the day, they say fall for something or stand for something. Fall for anything and stand for nothing. Whatever the phrase is, right? So basically, what we standing on? What's the culture? But we ready to point fingers and we ready to put blame, and our views and opinion changes with the next best idea or statement. Oh, you right. Oh, that's true. Oh, you right. That's true. What are we standing on? Because from what I understand, that's our culture. If you talk about somebody we love, you bound to be hurt in some form or fashion. And don't let it be a pre-existing thing, because I know off the rip, sometimes we patient. Sometimes we'll let that slide. But if you keep it going, it has to be addressed. And unfortunately, he reached that point where it had to be addressed. It don't matter where you are if you're a real one. So why is it that we are so like, oh my God, he did this, when we know this is our culture? Stand for your culture, because at the end of the day, if you were put in that position and that's how you will handle it, and some of y'all are lying because you be ready to pop off or somebody at your job for saying this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be, but that's the culture. Like, stop playing. And if you really want to talk about something, talk about how you going to unite if they really take his Oscars from him, when they know that lineup. Let me see who's the first one without sin cast the first stone. Period. Leave that man alone. They chopped it up. Chris Rock is not pressing charges. Actually, it boosts his career. How ironic, he has a tour that sold out. So he's seeing the benefits, in my opinion, to it all. Guess what? Would I have slapped him? No. But what I would have done is take that G.I. Joe Jane idea and really made the movie. Then I would have licensed out some toys and really make that money. The biggest revenge is success, guys. And all this talk about it, including this video, but I felt like I had to address it, is helping our brothers. So I'm not even tripping, because their sales are going through the roof at this point. Their shows are going through the roof at this point, right? And you didn't need no affiliate program to do it, right? So drama in our culture, in all cultures apparently, actually boosts the sales of others. Meanwhile, you have plenty of local businesses that does not commit violence or do any violence, and you barely want to even talk about their business. So I think the focus needs to be on other things apart from what our culture does when somebody is talking about our loved one. But that's my 2 cents on it. I'm Queen, your spiritual mentor. And thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. And I'm out.